The most important person in this world is my daughter. You are so much more. You are so much more than even you know.
Christina Applegate has been in the public eye since she was only a baby. To millions of fans, she has always been the funny, charming actress who made people laugh in sitcoms, movies, and most recently in the Netflix hit Dead to Me. On the outside, her life looked glamorous, filled with red carpets, television roles, and magazine covers. Yet behind that image was a very different story. Christina herself once said that the most important person in her life was her daughter, showing how much she valued family over fame. But what fans did not always see were the sacrifices, struggles, and battles she had to face to keep that smile on her face. The so-called scandal of her life is not about some Hollywood gossip or tabloid drama. Instead, it is about how much she endured as a child actor, how the industry treated her, and how illness changed her life forever. For Christina, fame was never just about opportunity. It also came with heavy pressure, unfair expectations, and trauma that she carried for years in silence. Today, her story is heartbreaking not because of something she did wrong, but because of how Hollywood failed to protect her when she needed it most. Christina was born in Hollywood, California, on November 25, 1971. From the very beginning, her life was tied to the entertainment industry. Her mother, Nancy Pretty, was a singer and actress, while her father worked as a record producer. But her parents' marriage fell apart when she was just a baby, and her mother had to raise her alone. Without much money, Nancy took her daughter everywhere, auditions, rehearsals, and sets. By 3 months old, Christina had already appeared in the soap opera Days of Our Lives with her mother. At 5 months, she was starring in commercials for baby products. Most children spend their early years playing with toys and learning to talk. Christina spent those years surrounded by cameras and lights. She became part of Hollywood before she could even understand what acting meant. Childhood was not about running around playgrounds or watching cartoons for her. It was about hitting her marks on stage and doing what adults expected. This early introduction to the industry shaped her entire life. She was not just a daughter, but also a performer, carrying the responsibility of helping her single mother make ends meet. In this way, Christina's childhood innocence was replaced with professional pressure almost from birth. By the time Christina was 9 years old, she was already appearing in feature films like Jaws of Satan. Her television career began to take off with guest roles in popular shows like Charles in Charge and Silver Spoons. At just 15 years old, she landed the role that would make her a household name, Kelly Bundy, on Married with Children. The show became a massive success, running for years and turning Christina into an icon. Audiences loved her comedic timing and the silly Kellyisms her character was famous for. But while her career was thriving, her personal struggles were growing. At only 8 years old, a boy once called her fat, and that single insult stayed with her. It pushed her into a lifelong battle with body image. Under pressure from Hollywood and even her own mother, Christina was told to lose weight to succeed. Her mother enrolled her in weight loss programs, and by her teens, Christina developed an eating disorder. Some days she ate only 5 almonds, convinced that more would ruin everything. On the outside, she looked like the confident blonde star, but on the inside, she was battling shame, fear, and pain. Fame gave her recognition, but it also trapped her in impossible beauty standards that nearly destroyed her. Although Married with Children made her famous, it also trapped Christina in the stereotype of the dumb blonde. Casting directors often struggled to see her as anything else. Christina wanted to prove she was more than Kelly Bundy, and she worked hard to take roles that showed her range. In 1991, she starred in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. The film was not a big success at the box office, but over time it became a cult favorite thanks to home video. Christina admitted that at the time she had been arrogant and did not value the opportunity, but fans ended up loving her performance. This moment showed that her talent went beyond sitcom comedy. Still, the shadow of Kelly Bundy followed her for years. Breaking out of that image was a constant challenge, but Christina kept pushing. She wanted to show that she could do drama, heartfelt roles, and serious acting. Throughout her career, she appeared in a mix of comedies, films, and stage work, proving again and again that she was more than one character. But even with professional achievements, her private battles with eating disorders and insecurities never fully went away. Hollywood's harsh beauty standards continued to affect her deeply. Christina's eating disorder continued for decades, though she kept it private for many years. She admitted only recently, on her podcast with actress Jamie Lynn Sigler, how severe it really was. She described how food, mirrors, and weight numbers controlled her life. Sometimes she avoided mirrors completely, leaving notes on them to remind herself not to spiral into negative thoughts. While she was entertaining millions of people, she was silently suffering. This side of Christina's life shows how damaging Hollywood can be, especially for young women who are expected to look a certain way. Even when she was at her most successful, she was not free from self-doubt. Her struggles were invisible to fans because she always appeared full of energy, charm, and humor. But deep down, she was constantly fighting an exhausting mental battle. This truth highlights an important issue. Not all scandals are about bad behavior. Sometimes the real scandal is how the industry ignores or hides the mental health struggles of its stars. Christina's honesty later in life gave fans a new perspective, showing them that behind the laughter was someone just trying to survive. After years of different projects, Christina experienced a career revival with the Netflix series Dead to Me. The show was critically praised and loved by audiences. Christina's performance was raw, emotional, and showed a deeper side of her acting skills. For many fans, this role proved that she was not just a sitcom star, but also a serious actress capable of powerful drama. However, just as her career was reaching new heights again, tragedy struck. In 2021, Christina announced that she had been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS, a disease that affects the central nervous system. MS can cause muscle weakness, fatigue, and problems with movement, and there is no cure. The diagnosis changed everything. Christina struggled to continue working, but managed to finish the final season of Dead to Me. After that, she could no longer perform the way she used to. Her last movie project was canceled, and her acting career effectively came to an end. For someone who had worked in the industry since infancy, this was devastating. Acting was not just a job for Christina, it was her identity. Losing it meant losing a huge part of herself. With her acting career over, Christina turned to something new, telling her truth. She is preparing a memoir that promises to reveal the darkest and most painful parts of her life. Unlike many celebrity books filled with gossip or funny behind-the-scenes stories, her memoir will focus on the trauma she experienced as a child actor, the predators she encountered, the abuse she endured, and the pressures that nearly destroyed her. For decades, she kept these secrets buried under humor and interviews, but now she is ready to speak openly. Fans who have always seen her as the funny and resilient star may be shocked by what they read. However, Christina is not sharing her story for shock value. She is sharing it to finally break free from the silence and to help others who may be facing similar struggles. Her voice now carries more power than ever, not because of a character she plays, but because of her willingness to reveal her truth. In doing so, she redefines her legacy, not just as an actress, but as a survivor of Hollywood's darkest side. Like many stars, Christina's personal relationships were often watched closely by the media. She had high-profile romances in her younger years, including her first marriage to actor Jonathan Chaich in 2001, which ended in divorce a few years later. But real love came when she married musician Martin Lenoble in 2013. With him, Christina found the kind of steady, supportive partnership she had always needed. Martin stood by her side through her toughest battles, including her fight with cancer, her struggles with an eating disorder, and her MS diagnosis. Together, they also raised their daughter, who Christina often describes as the most important part of her life. Despite losing her acting career, Christina has found meaning in being a mother and in sharing her truth. Family gave her strength when Hollywood took so much away. It is a reminder that even when fame disappears, what really matters are the people who love and support you unconditionally. In many ways, Christina's greatest role has not been on stage or on screen. It has been being a mother, partner, and survivor. Christina Applegate's life story is not the usual Hollywood scandal filled with affairs, fights, or gossip. Instead, it is about how fame, pressure, and illness created pain that the public rarely saw. One of the most touching parts of Christina Applegate's story is her relationship with her daughter, Sadie. Christina has said many times that being a mother gives her strength to face challenges she never thought she could handle. When she talks about her daughter, you can see how much love and hope she finds in being a parent. Even though Christina has gone through very dark times with her illness and personal struggles, she continues to put her daughter first. She wants Sadie to see that life can be difficult, but even then, you can still be strong. Many fans admire Christina because she is open about the pain she feels, but she is also open about the joy her daughter brings. That balance makes her very relatable. People see not just a Hollywood star, but also a real mother who loves her child deeply. This side of her life shows that while fame can bring pressure, it also allows people to inspire others by sharing personal truths. Christina may no longer be able to perform the way she used to, but through her honesty as a mother, she continues to impact people who face their own struggles at home. Christina Applegate's role in Dead to Me became one of the highlights of her career. Even though she was struggling with her health, she pushed through to complete the series, and it became one of her most celebrated works. Many people were shocked to learn that she filmed while experiencing symptoms of multiple sclerosis, which often left her in pain and very tired. Yet her performance never showed weakness. She delivered humor, emotion, and strength in every scene. For Christina, this role wasn't just another job. It became a symbol of her determination not to let illness define her completely. Critics praised her for bringing both comedy and heart to the show, making it a series that connected with millions of viewers. Fans have said that watching her gave them comfort, especially those dealing with their own health problems. Christina's work on Dead to Me may have been her last big acting role, but it is a lasting reminder of her talent and courage. It is also proof that sometimes, even when people are suffering silently, they can create something beautiful that inspires others long after the cameras stop rolling. One reason Christina Applegate is respected by so many people is her openness about her health struggles. In Hollywood, stars often try to hide their problems because they fear it will make them look weak or less glamorous. Christina chose a different path. She talked honestly about her breast cancer, about her surgeries, and later about her multiple sclerosis diagnosis. She even walked on stage at the SAG Awards with a cane, showing the world that she wasn't afraid to be seen in her reality. This honesty helps to remove stigma around illness. Many people with MS or cancer often feel alone, but when someone as famous as Christina speaks openly, it gives them hope. It makes them realize they are not alone in their fight. Christina's bravery in facing the public with her health struggles also encourages others to speak up and seek support. She has shown that vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. Her openness could be one of the most powerful parts of her legacy because it goes beyond acting and touches real lives. Christina Applegate's story also reminds us of the darker side of Hollywood, especially for young actors. She entered the entertainment world as a child, and from that moment, there were expectations placed on her appearance and behavior. Many child stars are forced to grow up quickly, and Christina was no exception. She has admitted that she dealt with pressures that most kids never experience. Instead of enjoying childhood, she was being judged by adults for how she looked and acted. This led to her eating disorder, which caused years of pain and shame. Sadly, her story is not unique. Many young stars face the same battles because Hollywood often values looks over well-being. Christina speaking openly about this problem highlights how dangerous these pressures can be. By sharing her experiences, she not only tells her own story, but also warns about the risks faced by other children in the entertainment industry. It is a reminder that fame is not always glamorous. Behind the cameras, there can be a lot of suffering that the public never sees. One of the most anticipated things in Christina Applegate's career right now is her upcoming memoir. Fans are eager to hear her story directly from her, in her own words. This book promises to reveal many of the struggles she has only hinted at before, including the challenges of being a child star, her battles with health, and her experiences with Hollywood's darker side. A memoir is more than just a book. It is a chance for Christina to leave a permanent mark on the world, sharing her truth honestly and without filters. For many readers, it will likely be an emotional experience, but also an inspiring one. Christina has always been loved for her humor and strength, and this book could show even more of that side of her. People who have faced illness, pressure, or personal struggles may find comfort in her words. Her memoir may also serve as a warning about the cost of fame, while at the same time reminding readers that resilience and honesty can help people survive even the hardest times. Over the years, Christina Applegate has used her fame not just for acting, but also for raising awareness about important health issues. After surviving breast cancer, she founded the charity Right Action for Women, which helps women get the medical support they need for early cancer detection. Later, when she revealed her battle with multiple sclerosis, she also started speaking publicly about the challenges of living with chronic illness. By doing this, she became more than just an actress. She became a voice for those who often feel invisible. Advocating for others shows her compassion and her willingness to use her platform for good. Many celebrities